Hey Maria, back with another video. It's like 10:08, I believe it is. 10:08 a.m. And it's Tuesday morning. I am not feeling well today. I had like I don't know, like a little headache, that was it's like a migraine, and they're very, I don't know, I see a lot of floaty things before the headache actually starts. And I went to bed like pretty late last night, and anyway, I decided to stay home today. I also feel a little dehydrated, even though I'm drinking a lot of water, so I don't really know what's up with that. Anyhow, the last few days, my mind has been on, and this is not something that I have done myself. It's just because my mind is trying to unravel more things, whether I want to or not. Okay, I will tell you, this whole process has been extremely draining to me. But my mind has been focused on Jim Colligan, my ex-sister's husband. First of all, I'd like to say that I suppose that this particular person, because I don't know, I never spent enough time with my sister Tanya's Jim Colligan to really know what how his background was. Like, some people are raised to be a certain way. And all I really remember is that he was dating my sister, back in the 80s. And I know that my dad had issues with him because my dad didn't think that he lived up to the standards of what a man should be and how they should treat a woman. Okay? And back then I didn't really know. I just knew that, when she was pregnant with my stupid nephew, that when I was over at their house, he seemed demanding to her. And it was in a way that I didn't think that I would want to be treated, And so I was just thinking, okay, how you look at certain people and you think, that's a good example of what I don't want in my life. And so that was my choice. I chose to avoid people in my life. Like, I would never want to marry someone like that, although you end up marrying idiots anyway. But anyway, I kept thinking, this is not what I want for my life. I'm assuming that he is one of those people who wants to dominate people. And, it's never okay for a person to sort of develop this sort of attitude. But my sister Tanya married Jim Colligan. Okay, so she made a conscious decision to marry him. And I'm assuming that he's the kind of person who manipulates her employment, so she probably couldn't leave him if she wanted to. I don't know what their problem is, but do not ever involve me into their issues. She is married to him. I'm not married to him. But yet, I know he had played a big role in my targeting. And I know when I was over at my mom's house back in 2014/2015, I would look into the want ads, and there were a lot of things that were targeting me directly and mentioning things like, bragging about my sister Tanya's master's degree. I never aspired to get a master's degree, okay? But these sort of competitions and stuff that these people, my sister and my brother-in-law, want to compete against me, that I have no desire to be a competitive, but I do believe that my ex-brother-in-law, and that's, I don't even care about these people. I rarely see these people, but plays more of a role in my targeting than and I think that he felt as though he could involve a bunch of other people in my targeting. And he's the kind of person, he lacks empathy. He doesn't have the ability to understand a person or what they need, or he doesn't care. He just thinks everything is cut and dry. And it's not like that. I don't know why, but, for the last few days, he has been heavily on my mind. And I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with someone that I would never want to be married to somebody who is going to dominate me, okay? I decided to leave my marriage, not just because of the issue of his mom having control over my employment, but just for the fact that he was a sneaky person who worked behind the shadows. Who's to say my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law, Jim Colligan, didn't encourage this sort of behavior? It's one thing to have tradition in a family, okay? And you can have your traditions in your family, you can have your views, you can have your ideas, but when that hits the workplace, okay, there is a certain standard that has to be expected by law, okay? Just because you believe that maybe women should be barefoot and pregnant in a house or whatever, you cannot impose those rules and those laws and those ideas in a workplace. And I sure as hell, the very fact that I'm not married to this particular person, okay, and even if I was, he still doesn't have the right to do that. And bringing up the religion, and maybe he feels women are supposed to be exactly that. They're supposed to be submissive to their husbands and whatever. And that's, hey, I feel as though Tanya got herself bound and chained to what I consider to be a demon. But then, by her behavior, that shows that she's a demon herself. He has no legal right to do anything, to tell me what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to live, set my standards. He has crossed over a line. I could see why my dad didn't like him. See, when I was younger, I didn't have the life experience of knowing all these different varieties of people, okay? And these particular personality types, you don't need to meet a bunch of different people. You've seen one, you've seen them all, okay? And I believe that my father knew that this man was somebody who didn't know how to treat a woman correctly. Now, I don't want anything to do with Jim Colligan. I don't want him trying to impose his rules, ideas, beliefs, or anything else on me. I don't need him. I know that they have always acted like they were so concerned about me. I know when I was in high school, there was a teacher. I don't remember his name. He was an older gentleman. But they went to the same church, okay? And their infiltration into my personal life, my personal space, has always been disastrous for me. It has always made me ill. It has always created more tension, more hostility, more problems. It has never benefited me because their angle is not to be productive in their guidance. It is to be very abusive, and really it's not their heart's desire to help. It's more in their desire to be competitive and abusive. And that's really what it is, okay? Because if they were trying to correct my behavior, what they could do is, when I would see them, very rare, I rarely saw Jim Colligan. I would see Jim and my sister Tanya maybe once or twice every few years, because I rarely went over there for holiday dinners and stuff, okay? But if they were concerned because, they were spying in at me at work or whatever, then they should have those conversations with me and say, hey, you know what? Because that's the only constructive way to help a person. You say, hey, I'm a little concerned about your life. What's going on? How can I help? Maybe do you think that maybe you could change your hair? And then I would say, no, I can't change my hair. This is how my hair is. Okay, I'm a black woman. Jim is a white man. He's my sister Tanya is also interracially married. And I think a lot of times when black people are raised with certain advantages, or they just tend to do that. Oftentimes they do, okay? I personally am not in favor of interracial marriages anymore, and I will go into that some other time in another video. Only because, it's not because I think, it's just there's too much to go on. There's just too much to add to that, okay? I choose not to get married, period, but, I can go into that some other time. But my point is that, these people have always tried to, get into my personal life. They've always tried to, be nosy. And in their attempts of being nosy, they have created little monsters along the way, creating harassment issues. And this is all they do. It's not productive. If they were really interested in helping somebody, then because really, besides me being extremely intuitive and being able to figure things out, how would I know what they are trying to how would I know the message that they're trying to convey? I wouldn't know what they're trying to do. See, and because they're not really handling things in a constructive way. What they're trying to do is they're trying to prevent me from moving on with my life because they feel a sense of jealousy. These people act like I'm trying to work for the Pentagon, okay? They act like I'm trying to get some $100,000 job. Now, mind you, am I worth $100,000? Yeah, I am, okay, just because of the knowledge that I have. I have more knowledge and more skills when it comes to administrative type work or business than most people, okay? But I would say my aspirations are barely humble. You know what I mean? All I really want is a certain particular job or certain things that I can do with my talents, and I want a peaceful life. That's all I want. They feel as though, but we have to be the ones who give it to her. They want to play God 24 hours a day. I didn't ask for that, okay? I want these people out of my life, period, okay? I think that Jim Colligan is somebody that I don't respect. I don't respect his children. His children are just examples, perfect examples of what I consider to be narcissistic behavior passed down to another generation. That's all it is, okay? They think that because they go to a certain church or whatever, that they have some sort of authority, or because he's a man that he has some sort of authority. I'm very disturbed. For the last 2 days, I've been waking up with these people on my mind. Because I don't know why he seems to think that I'm supposed to change my life because there's nothing wrong with my life. Okay? Because black people wear wigs. He doesn't understand that. Okay? But they do. All right? They just do. And it really isn't any of his concern. If it was something he was concerned about, why would he never do this up front? Instead of trying to, basically, he was trying to push me out of my career path because they were jealous. They felt as though because I wasn't a Christian that I didn't deserve those blessings. So they want to grasp for straws and come up with all kinds of bullshit reasons. I don't have any legal reason to pay attention to what he has to say. All I know is that these people have caused me nothing but problems, okay? And they're very they are ashamed of themselves. They will never reveal themselves. He's a coward. If he was, any kind of real man, he would say, hey, I did this. He knew that he was putting me in a situation where I'm in a vulnerable position, being in the situation that I'm in. I'm all by myself. If he was any kind of decent person, he would say, I'm going to come over here. I want to talk about this. We're going to clear all this stuff up. We're going to take care of it. No, he does not do that. Okay? Because obviously he's not a good person. He never has been a good person, okay? He's just like a twisted person who goes to church and tries to wear a mask, which a lot of people do that, But anyway, yeah, I'm disturbed by the whole Jim Colligan thing. Very much so, because I don't expect people that I'm not close to have any say in my life. He doesn't belong in my life. All these people don't belong. My sister, my mom, all these people, I never invited them in. I never asked for and everything that they try to do only ends up being bad because they go about it the wrong way. You don't try to use other people to tell other people what to do or try to manipulate things or try to spy on me or send people to my house or I don't want your shit. Because I'm able to identify it now. It's like I don't want to talk to anybody anymore. Because I don't want that weird energy, And I certainly, anybody tries to bring up religion to me, I don't even bother. Don't even bother with it, okay? Don't bother it. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. So anyway, I rested after, I got up around, 2 o'clock this morning. Isn't that crazy? Tried to go back to sleep, okay? I had a headache. And I can think there's no way in the world I can get to work tomorrow. And so I let my boss know, and I went back to sleep. And then I was just having all kinds of weird things flashing through my brain about Jim Colligan. And all of these, I believe, are like, not premonitions or things that are supposed to happen. But I believe that this was the unraveling and things that were being told to me or revealing certain things. He needs to stay out of my life, okay? He needs to go and fix all this shit and stop, you know, trying to act like he's got some sort of authority. You don't have any authority. And I feel, I would, if my sister Tanya doesn't deserve any pity because she put herself in that situation. She's supposed to be a person with a master's degree. She should be smart enough to know being dominated when she to identify that she's being dominated. All right, and if she's not, that's not my problem. You know, I'm very sorry that, you know, that these people got involved in my life. I would have been so much happier had I never had anything to do with these people. Seriously. But I remember, you know, I remember their intrusion many years ago, and I remember the effect that it had on me. And then all these years I've been trying to get away from them, and these people have always followed me everywhere. Okay, I just don't need their shit anymore. And I'm trying to visualize a life without these people. You know, I'm trying to gather my strength and trying to figure out how I'm going to get out of this mess that they created. It's their responsibility, as well as the employer's responsibility, to clear up this shit. I don't want any jobs being handed down to me. These people have already proven themselves to be untrustworthy, to be evil people. So why would they still have the ability to even manipulate something? Is what makes me like, wow, I'm like, I don't even understand that. Why are they still in a position so where they can still say, oh, I can still find her a job? What makes these people so credible in these other people's eyes? Okay, they're not. They're human traffickers. They're part of a cult, okay? And that really blows me, it throws me off so bad. It's like, wait, I didn't do anything. These people are the ones who come into my workplace. They create harassment situations. They do these setups. They create more harassment. Then they throw this shit out in the community. These people are criminals. But why do they still have the ability to negotiate and make all these different agreements with people? Why is that? You know, open up your eyes, people. Seriously. Anyway, I'm really thirsty today. I'm drinking a lot of water. And I'm going to try to get as much rest as I possibly can. I hope other TIs have a good day. I'm going to maybe, hopefully later on, I can get outside and get some sunlight and try to make myself feel a little bit better. Wrapping up this video. Come back with another video some other time. Bye-bye.